Hey cruisers, we are on our way to Port Canaveral to watch some ships depart this afternoon. So we figured we'd do some recording of some tidbits of information for you to help you on your travels. So I've been working with a lot of new clients recently about Alaska cruise tours, and they have a lot of questions, so I thought I would bring out some more information for you as well. A lot of people don't even know what a cruise tour is, but basically a cruise tour is a cruise plus land attached to it before or after your cruise. And for a Holland America Alaska cruise tours, you get the option of Denali or Denali and the Yukon. We have done Denali and the Yukon, and we're getting ready to do Denali, so we're super excited about that. But what happens is you either have your land portion before or after your cruise tour. It is recommended by most people that have done the cruise tours before to do land first. Land tends to be a little bit more active, a little bit more travel involved, and a little bit more exhausting. So you really do want to have your land first. You're going to fly into the destination, Anchorage, Fairbanks, wherever your tour starts, and then you're going to go to Denali or the Yukon, depending on the itinerary, and that can be 2, 3, 4 to 7 days, followed by your cruise, which could be a 4-day cruise up to a 7-day cruise. So there's a lot of variations with that. But again, you really want to start with land followed by cruise. A lot of people ask, when is the best time to go to Alaska? Well, there's always a good time to go, but there's different things that can be seen during the year. So the Alaskan cruise season is May through the beginning of October. May to early June, you're going to see fewer crowds, lower pricing, more snow on the mountains, which is pretty cool. It's neat to see the snow on the mountains. Mid-June to August, you're going to see the warmest weather and peak wildlife viewing. And then September, you're going to see fall colors, chances of northern lights, and fewer crowds. And it tends to be a little bit less expensive towards September as well. So on your Alaska cruise tour, you are most likely going to fly into Anchorage. And from Anchorage, what they do is they get you on the Alaska Railroad, the McKinley Explorer, and it leaves from Anchorage and goes all the way up to Denali. It's about an 8-hour train ride, and it's not just transportation. Some people get confused about this. They think they're on a train for 8 hours and it's going to be boring, but really it is a beautiful wildlife-filled day of train travel, and it's very, very comfortable. The seats are extremely comfortable, lots and lots of legroom. They have breakfast and lunch available for you on board at an extra cost, and you are free to roam the rail cars for the entire duration of the train ride up to Denali. So once you get to Denali, you're probably wondering what's included. Well, when you book a Holland America cruise tour, your inclusions are your hotel stay at the McKinley Chalet, which I believe is now going to be called the Denali Lodge. So your accommodations are included. Some meals, if the particular package includes meals, so you'd want to look really closely at the itinerary. Your transportation, obviously around the lodge area, and your tour is usually included, but again, check the itinerary. As far as meals are concerned and excursions, most meals in Denali are on your own. There may be one show that could be included in your stay, but mostly not. Excursions, the only excursion that may be included would be the tour of Denali National Park, but you're going to want to, again, look at the itinerary. So when you're booked on an Alaskan cruise tour with Holland America, that itinerary is gold. You really need to look at the itinerary day by day, and it'll show every inclusion. If lunch is included, it will state it very clearly on there. And one last thing that people have questions about is tipping. So when you book your cruise tour, you may or may not have had the Have It All package. The Have It All package is for the cruise portion only. Sometimes in that package you will have gratuities included, but just keep in mind that doesn't have anything to do with the land portion of the tour. So coming back to the land, you're responsible for all the tips. The guides, there's an expectation that the guides are to be tipped and the coach drivers are to be tipped. And there's a very clear outline of the tipping, what's suggested to be tipped to these people along the way on the land portion. And in our personal experience, they're worth every penny. So take cash with you because you will want to tip them. And if you're one of my clients, I will send you that tipping guide, and it's extremely helpful so you can prepare ahead of time to know what to expect. So not only with a cruise tour, but a cruise itself, you want to make sure that you're getting your excursions booked early. There are a lot of excursions that sell out very quickly, the most popular being flight seeing over Denali, glacier hikes, whale watching, and the dog sledding. Those puppies are so cute. So these are the things that are going to sell out fast. If you see an excursion that you like, book it, because you don't want to get closer to your cruise and have hemmed and hawed about it and then go in and find out they're sold out and you can't do it. It's really going to make you depressed for your trip, and that's not what we want. We want you to be able to do everything you want to do while you're on your Alaskan cruise or cruise tour. So Alaskan cruise tours have lots of different lengths. They go from 9 days to 18 days. And this is where a travel agent like me really comes in handy. I've done these tours. I have dug deep into the understanding of what happens on each individual tour. So please reach out to me before you book this. I get a lot of questions on YouTube from people that have already booked and are just, they don't know what's going on. They don't have the information they need. That's where a travel agent like me is so helpful. And you might be like, well, I can do it on my own, but you think you can in the beginning, but once you get into it, you're like, I don't know what's going on. And then you're reaching out trying to figure it out. And as much as the representatives with Holland America try to answer your questions, I don't think they've all done these tours either. So there's a lot of questions when you call them. They're very hesitant in their answers. So please reach out to a travel agent like me particularly would be great. And I would love to help you with this because this has become a passion of mine. We love Alaska. We absolutely loved our cruise tour we did last year. Again, we're doing one again this year because of how enjoyable it was. But I want to make sure that you're getting everything you can out of your cruise tour and that you know every step of the way what you need to do, when you need to do it, so that when you arrive in Alaska, you're ready to go, fully prepared, and are just there to enjoy what you paid for.
Please help us out and hit the subscribe button down below.
Yep, right there in red. So you may be wondering, should I bring my bathing suit for my Alaska cruise or my Alaska cruise tour? Well, yeah. Because on board there are a couple of pools. There's one that's in the back and it's open. And then there's one in the middle of the ship, and that one is a covered pool. So it'll be warm in there and warm enough for you to go swimming. And it's not always cold in Alaska. People have this theory that you're going to go and it's going to be freezing and you have to wear parkas and your boots, but that is not the case. There have been times when people have gone in and it's been 90 degrees. I mean, that sounds crazy, but it has been. Our experience last year and a couple years ago was that it was warm enough to just wear t-shirts and normal jeans, or even my husband probably wore shorts. So just keep that in mind. You could be swimming on an Alaska cruise if you want to. Also, not even just pool swimming, you can get a spa pass that allows you to use the Philosopherapy pool. I'm probably not saying that right, but that's basically what it is. And you can actually buy a pass for the week. You buy it ahead of time. I believe it's around $180 for a 7-day sailing. It is, at least for my upcoming sailing, but you do want to go on your app or log into your account to see what it is for your sailing. But this is something a lot of people rave about. It's great for therapy, sore muscles, and it's not really that expensive to have access to those spa benefits. So check that out online. One of the most asked questions I get is, what do I pack for an Alaska cruise? Well, what you really want to keep in mind is layers, layers, layers. And for me, I need to make sure that I'm dry. Being warm is one thing, but if you're wet, you're going to be cold. So what you're going to want to do is just pack layers of clothing and make sure you have something that's waterproof. I have waterproof pants that I can put on over top of my leggings or my jeans, and I have a waterproof coat. But none of this is thick and heavy. You don't want anything thick and heavy because you just don't know what your weather is going to be when you get there. If it's 70 degrees, you probably just want to wear your waterproof pants and your lightweight jacket. But if it's colder, you can wear a t-shirt, a hoodie, and your jacket over top of that. That gives you the layers, that gives you that pockets of warmth between the wet layer and you that keeps you warm. But like I said, if it's hot, you don't want to be hot either. So keep that in mind. As far as shoes go, there's a back and forth of whether or not you really do need waterproof shoes. I mean, if you want to make sure you don't get wet, then waterproof your shoes or get shoes that are waterproof, but make sure they're comfortable. That is the number one thing. You don't want any feet issues, because if your feet go bad, your entire trip is bad. So make sure you're wearing something that's very comfortable. If it's tennis shoes that aren't waterproof, bring 2 pairs. That is, I think, the best advice I can give to you about what to pack is layers and good, comfortable shoes. And make sure everything's waterproof when it comes to a jacket or your pants. You have anything else to add?
No.
Yeah, I just packed for him. So you may be wondering, why use a travel agent to book an Alaskan cruise tour? Well, Alaskan cruise tours may sound simple to you because, it includes everything, right? Sure, you can book direct, but what you will find out very quickly is they're not going to provide you with a lot of the information that is pertinent to you having the best trip of your life. Because that's what this is. This is a bucket list trip, and you want it to go extremely smoothly. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of information out there about it. So when you book with a travel agent like me, I've experienced these cruise tours before. I've dug in, I've made the mistakes of not having the information ahead of time and stumbled through it. And I know what it feels like to get there and not really understand, I didn't realize I needed to bring that much money for tips, or I thought that my tips were included because I already paid my gratuities, because that's not actually the case with a cruise tour. So when you book with a travel agent, an experienced travel agent that really has worked to educate herself on these Alaskan cruise tours, you're going to have a smoother experience. There's a lot of details that is not provided by the cruise lines that is what you need to really have a good experience. One thing you should always remember with Alaska cruise tour, you're going to Alaska. Lodges, chalets, the names of things can trip you up a little bit. Just keep in mind, these are not 5-star hotels. The hotels that you're going to stop at along the way on your cruise tour they're very nice. They're way more than adequate. It's very clean. It's a good experience, but please don't expect high-end, great high-end accommodations. Along your journey on your Alaska cruise tour, you're going to stop at some cities. And don't forget to do some research before you head into these little towns and cities, because they have some quaint little restaurants and things to do. But doing your research ahead of time to make sure you're not missing out on some things is really important. And one of the spots you really want to check out is in the Yukon. When you stop in Dawson, there are a lot of neat little things. And if you can go back to our Yukon cruise tour that we did last year and watch the video of Dawson City, it'll be worth your time to watch. So check that out. That's one of the places I'm telling you about. Google. But remember, always reach out to me with any questions you have. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe below for more content and to help us grow our channel. Ready for more? Click one of the 2 videos to your right. Ready to book your next trip? Message me at michelle@mytravelingowl.com or visit my website at mytravelingowl.com. I'm a certified travel advisor with the Travel Institute and an elite cruise counselor with CLIA, the Cruise Line International Association.